هنستأنف هنا ناخد بقى chapter 5 sedimentation. If the particle is settling in a gravitational field, it rapidly reaches terminal pulling velocity واتكلمنا عليها قبل كده. When the frictional forces has become equal to the net gravitational force. In a centrifugal field بقى ودي حتة مهمة في عملية ترشيح النانو particles هنجيلها بعدين. The particle may reach a very much higher velocity because the centrifugal force may be many thousands of times greater than the gravitational force. يبقى بالنسبة بقى اللي هي النانو بارتكل الجرافيتي يبقى ضعيفة جدا، يبقى ملهاش حل أن نفصلها إلا عن طريق السنترفيوجيشن. In practice, the concentration of suspension used in industry will usually be high enough for there to be significant interaction between the particles and the frictional force exerted at a given velocity of the particle relative to the fluid may be greatly increased as a result of modification of the flow pattern so that hinder settling texture. ده أول نوع من settling. As a corollary, the sedimentation rate of a particle in a concentrated suspension may be considerably less than its terminal falling velocity under free settling. يبقى لو عندي البارتكل نازلة لوحدها مفيش حاجة أي حاجة تانية جنبها تعوقها يبقى دي بيسموها فري سيتلينج. إنما لو كان الماتيريال كلها مركزة في حتة معينة ويحسبوا يخبطوا في بعض يبقى عندي هيندر سيتلينج. يبقى هي free settling condition when the effects of mutual interference are negligible. In this chapter, the behavior of concentrated suspension in a gravitational field هندرسه يعني. It is important to note that suspensions of fine particles tend to behave rather differently from coarse suspensions in that a high degree of flocculation may occur as a result of the very high specific surface area of the particle. For this reason, fine and coarse suspensions are considered separately. And the sedimentation of fine particles. هنا عندي كيس 1 وكيس بي. تايب 1 settling وتايب 2 طبعا واضح. في تايب اللي على الشمال اللي هو A بعد فترة الاقي اتكون عندي 1 2 3 4 من فوق كلير ليكويد ما فيهوش أي حاجة معلقة. بعدين هنا constant composition zone من suspension وهنا zone of variable composition وهنا sediment. طبعا في المنطقة C دي ألاحظ إن أكيد التركيز بيزداد كل ما نزلت تحت. النوع الثاني لا بيبقى عندي 3 بس clear liquid وزون of variable composition وsediment. The main reasons for the modification of settling rate of particles in a concentrated suspension are as follows. If a significant size range of particles is present, the large particles are settling relative to the suspension of smaller ones so that the effective density and the viscosity of the fluid are increased. The upward velocity of the fluid displaced during settling is appreciable in a concentrated suspension and apparent settling velocity is less. Apparent settling مش true than the actual velocity relative to the fluid. The velocity gradients in the fluid close to the particles are increased as a result of the change in the area and shape of the fluid spaces. The smaller particles tend to be dragged downwards by the motion of the large particles and are therefore accelerated. Because the particles are closer together in a concentrated suspension, flocculation is more marked in an ionized solvent and the effective size of the small particle is increased.